When I am talking with someone who is living with an addict, their life is being impacted or really destroyed by addiction, the main thing that I want them to know is what really brings change. Because most people who are living with addiction, they try to change the addicted person. I was talking to this mom the other day, and she was telling me how her husband was either wasted or high every night. And he was belligerent, he was mean, he was losing jobs. She was trying to protect the kids from him, she was trying to protect herself from him, and she was done. But she kept doing the same thing over and over. I mean, it seemed different to her, but she told me how she would scream at him. She would threaten him. She would beg with him. She would plead with him. She would do all these things that to me all fit under the same category. She is going to put her life on hold and her kid's life on hold until he makes a change. And see, she's powerless in that position. And that's exactly what an addict needs, because they need control, right? They need a way to maintain their addiction, not because they hate their family, but because at this point, especially her husband, he was at a point where he needed to use just to feel normal, just to get through his day. And as messed up as that life is, he needed a way to control that. So he knew, even if it wasn't conscious, he knew that all the threats, all the yelling, all the begging, the pleading did not really mean he needed to change, because it was his change that needed to happen, right? So, when you're living with someone with addiction, the only thing that you really have control over is yourself and your ability to change. And this is a really tough choice that families have to make. They have to choose, are we going to put our life on hold and wait for this person to change? Or are we going to choose to move on? Are we going to look at our lives and say, what is healthy, what is right, what is next for us? We can't deny ourselves what is good and healthy for us. We need to move on. But so many families feel like that's a betrayal of their loved one who is addicted, that they're leaving them behind, but you're not, right? You are putting the choice back in their hands. You're saying, we're moving on in a healthy way. This is what is healthy and good and right for us, and we want you to come. Please come with us. Please live this healthy life. Leave that addiction, right? But then the doubts come in, the fears come in, and I hear this over and over. What if they die? What if they're homeless? Who's going to take care of them? What if they don't get help? And they get sucked right back in that same cycle where the addict really doesn't have to change because nothing has really changed. The only thing that you can make change is yourself and your family moving forward. And when you make that change, when you say we are really going to change, then that creates a different reality for the addict. Okay? Now it's not just threats. Now it's not just a pattern. They have a true choice to make. Either deal with their addiction or live with the fact that their whole life, everything around them is changing, and it's a real change. Now that doesn't guarantee that they're going to get better, but that is the only way that you truly have an effect to encourage, to create change around them. I am so sensitive, and I don't want to seem brash or anything, because living with an addiction is hell on earth. Living with a person with addiction is doubly hell on earth, because not only you have what's happening in your life, you see what's happening to them, right? It's not an easy thing, but that shift in control is a big player. It's such a tough decision. Now, if you're living with someone with an addiction, you don't have to do this on your own. Reach out to other people, because sometimes when you're in that mess, you can't see the difference between what is healthy, what is right, what is the next step for you and your family. Sometimes you need someone from the outside to give you some guidance and to say, hey, here is what is good and what is healthy. And they work that through with you. So please reach out to a counselor. Reach out to a support group. Reach out to someone who's been through it before. Do whatever you need to do to help you move forward. And if you are the addicted person listening to this, right, you have that choice to reach out and get help for yourself. And I encourage you to do it. All this is so hard. When you're in addiction, it's so hard. It's a pit that is just so difficult to pull yourself out of, but it can be done. It can be done. It's done every day. And more people are catching on to how to do it. Don't give up. It's worth it.